You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
Well, no, we got to do Welcome to Movie Bears with the Farx brothers. I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
Gregorio.
Gregorio.
Oh, Gregorio, you were saying some interesting things to our guest,
Abbey Lowenstein. Hello.
who is,
Actor, writer, and director.
and this is
Sentimental Value spoilers.
Sir Gregory.
Gregorio.
Gregorio,
What is it?
but
Gregoria in a minute here. I don't know what that means.
All right. Yeah.
where do you want me to?
You said you related to something in this movie, and I always love hearing about, how you emotionally relate to something in a movie we watch.
Well, I was working through my thoughts on it. I wasn't sure. As I was working through my thoughts, I realized that maybe I'm actually the opposite. But you have a character who can't connect with. It seems like who can't connect with people other than through very specific. And I related to that only because that's how I, in my day-to-day work, like film, shooting corporate video, that is the only way I often meet people. It's a little bit different. It doesn't. That's what I'm finding. It doesn't really. It's not the perfect analogy because I will meet a lot of people. I'm doing air quotes for those who can't. For those who can't see me, which is everyone.
Yeah,
and it's on purpose. Well, but anyone watching, it's by design that I'm not on camera. Yeah, they do. At this point, they ought to know. It's a way to you're meeting a lot of people, but you're not connecting with anyone because you're just stuck behind a camera. But it's so it's kind of the same in here's the only way you end up socializing and connect and meeting people is by doing filmmaking, but it's not really filmmaking when I do it 9 to 5. But it's still different. The diversion there is that I still don't. I'm even worse off than Gustav because I don't connect with people either because I'm hiding behind a camera. So that's what I'm putting together right here.
We were talking
I was working
about
through it. So.
art to fill a hole, but you said something that no, it's not filling a hole.
I think it's just people want to strive for something. I think or improve, get better, achieve goals. That's how I view performing and acting and the things that we do. It's not. I don't perceive myself as looking to fill a hole that is empty. It's this is the thing that I'm the most passionate about, and I'm always trying to be better at it. So that's why I push and push and push. And I think you could perceive that as trying to fill a hole or a space, but I kind of don't.
What I think is maybe a pivot on that idea, could be a different idea, I'm not sure, is that they say in the movie, art expresses something that could only be expressed through the art. This is from my perspective, I could see I cannot stand saccharine, mushy type things like that. I realize saccharin's a little too much of a, big word. Sorry.
I know what you mean.
No, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about how my being perceived as a jackass, which I am.
Got it.
In Vietnam, they don't know saccharin, which is
thanks again to all the folks in Vietnam that are listening. We really love to post the numbers. It made us feel good, so thank you. But,
yeah, keep it going.
No, but I could express a feeling that would come close to that, something mushy.
Yeah.
But when I've had a comedian come up to me at a festival and go, "Oh, so you're not like you are in your movie. You're actually you act like this, nice, caring person, but then you're a dick interpersonally. But your movies aren't about dicks. That's great."
Oh my!
Wow, he said that to you?
Yeah, you were there.
I don't remember that.
I
don't think he was that blunt about it.
You weren't. No, you were not in that blunt rotation. That was Justin Lerbucken. I knew how to say it 3 episodes ago.
Yeah,
so I got to come on the show, Justin. Were you grossed out by what he was doing? I called it to my wife cheating on his daughter with a surrogate daughter.
Was I grossed out?
I was grossed out by it.
The feeling that I had was not gross.
Okay.
I was sad because I saw, because we're in the spoiler section,
Yeah,
right?
you can say whatever you want.
So, within the context of like what had happened before and then what happened at that restaurant when he was like the mom dies, he comes back. To me, my interpretation of like him coming back was like, and then like meeting with his daughters was someone who probably has a lot of regrets about like how everything had happened before. And his way of like trying to reconnect and reach out was like presenting her with this script. And then when he made like the decision he made to pursue it, you know, without her, the feeling that I had was sadness because the reason that I like movies like this is because they illustrate what I feel like is are real flaws and real decisions that people make and the consequences of those like decisions. And they're not like you murder someone and so the consequence is that they're dead. It's you make a decision to pursue a film which is ultimately going to better your career without your daughter, even though you wrote it for her, and the pain that comes with that, and like the subtle interpersonal things that ripple out like because of that. And those are the types of relationships and like the things that I'm fascinated by exploring. So gross, no. Sad, yes.
Why did it make you feel icky?
Yeah.
The theme of infidelity had already been introduced in terms of the daughter helping someone to cheat. And so she's helping someone to cheat. And then it's like he cheats on his daughter to get what he wants. And like she was using the married man because it kept her, as she even states, like she states her feelings in the movie, which because I was reading them, I was like, this is very smart. She says like, oh, it's good you're married so I don't have to like deal with my shit. And it's like, oh, okay, well, cool.
Yeah.
So you're aware and you're just doing that. Now, is she aware and believes she can't help it because of her generational trauma from her father leaving to pursue the work back in the day? Because the director, when talking with, I can't remember who it was at the Director's Cut podcast, but he was saying that he comes from like the world of people who made movies. And there's somewhat of a nomadic lifestyle where you like have to be away. We're planning a feature. I will have to be away from my children for, you know, days on end, maybe weeks on end. And like, you know, I don't think they'll forget me in a week or two.
Yeah.
But like
goldfish.
if you were doing that consistently because you need to work 30 weeks out of the year because that's when you make your nut for the other 22 weeks of the year on productions that take you away from the home.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's icky about him connecting with Ella's character?
I guess speaking as a father of two daughters, to cheat on yourself to form the relationship that you want with somebody else because you're not willing to do the work to fix what's wrong with your daughter.
I would argue he is trying to make the work. He wrote the entire script for his daughter so that she could
He
get
did that
the.
for himself.
It's a two-sided sword, maybe.
Yeah.
So I think the really interesting part is that you get to see the journey. You get to see the bad decision of him. I like the connection of the infidelity at the beginning with like the sort of like, you know, infidelity of this relationship. I think that is fascinating, and I did not make that connection.
No.
But I like the journey of you see him make the shitty decision and then ultimately, right? Like, and you have, because so many things in life are about the getting through it. Like people spend so much time trying to skip around the hard parts and only be dealing with like the good stuff at the end of it, that we forget that like the only way sometimes you get to the good stuff, right, which we see kind of at the end of this in its own way, is by making the shitty decision in the first place and then dealing with those consequences, realizing the things that you realize through that journey, and that's the only way you end up on the good side. That's how I interpret like this and, you know, like a lot of other things in my life.
Well, like Gregari,
That's why I make all the shitty decisions I make, because
Right.
I'm just confident they're going to lead to good
It
things.
will
Yeah, eventually.
eventually. You'll learn.
In 15 years, that shitty decision I made.
I don't know.
No, it will.
I relate to Gregario. See, I got the name right.
Yeah.
In that I relate to Stellan Skarsgård. His character is Gustav, excuse me. Again, father thing, but then he's working through his shit of why did his mom kill herself? And like the movie goes, well, maybe it's because the Nazis took her away, or maybe it's you know, we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, okay, so the conclusion of the movie is by getting his daughter to reenact his mother's suicide in the movie, that's him dealing with his shit, and now he's going to be able to connect with his daughter.
So
that's kind of fucked up and
it
grosses
is.
me out.
It is.
As emotionally grosses me out, not
Yeah.
like grosses me out in the other gross ways we can think of.
I know, and that's like the stuff. That's like the imperfect ways that we relate to each other. Like, that is maybe the upside. And how fucked up is that? That is the upside, but for them, maybe that works. Like, maybe that is the connection. Maybe her reenacting his mother's suicide in the film that he wrote, like, for her, which also includes, like, stuff about her life. Like, I don't think anyone would argue that that is a healthy way, right? To, like, interact. But if it works, I think sometimes that the thing that made me happy at the end of it was the realization of this like yeah, that is kind of a fucked up way to have to like react or, you know, relate to your father, but they're connecting, at least they're talking, and so that left me with like a feeling of hope, I think, even though it's not perfect or even perhaps psychologically safe.
Because the first act is him meeting Elle Fanning's character. I don't remember her name. Something.
Rebecca? Is it Rebecca?
Rachel Kemp.
Rachel, thank you.
Rachel Kemp.
Yes, man.
And then the midpoint is when they see each other again after she, you know, didn't want to do the movie, and then they smoke that cigarette.
Yes.
And they cut dialogue out of there.
Did they?
Yeah.
do you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
okay, that moment stood out to me as okay. I'm curious. Do you know what they cut? Do you
No.
know what it was? Okay, nobody does.
I think it's great that they cut it because now you get to
yeah.
you get to imprint. You don't like it. You want
I'm
the information.
okay with it. I was okay. It was effective. Like it was successful.
That
as
was something
a-
I really liked.
That's so funny.
Don't tell me. See, this
Yeah.
is just different tastes, and
Yeah.
I think it's great. You know that the same movie can, you know.
I don't disagree. It bothered me because I'm me, and I was like, "What was it?" But I agree it was successful because it stood out as a moment where I was like,
You've smoked in your movies before,
"Yeah,
and you don't look like you don't know how to smoke. Like famously, Vanessa has said on the show, other people don't look like they know how to smoke in her movies.
yeah."
And I think Europeans make smoking look cool. I don't smoke.
Why Europeans? What do you mean?
What do you? Do you agree or disagree with
That Europeans make smoking look cool.
Yes.
I agree that Europeans make smoking look cool.
So they hold it 2 fingers like this, or what is it?
So smoking culture is really funny to me. I'm going to China, and the thing I'm most excited about is to watch all of the Chinese men with the cigarette that's dangling just attached to the lip on the side. It's like the moment I see that, I'm gonna be like, I know where I am. But yeah, so you got the this, you got the this, you've got the dangle. Like there's all different ways. Thanks for saying that I look like I've smoked before. You're
Your
right.
acting was good. Was all I meant. And then in other
It's like
Vanessa
telling my
movies-
business.
I am not talking about your business. I'm just saying.
Just a little.
You did
That's
it.
okay.
You
Those
did
that
it-
know. She
I-
winks.
Yeah, it's a visual medium. That's great. So did anyone disagree about smoking looking cool?
It doesn't. I don't understand
Don't
how.
smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't smoke. And
Yeah,
if you're listening
please.
to this, kids, you should be listening to this. This is explicit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the correlation. Why does Europeans make it look cool?
Because they don't have the fatty foods over there. Their vice
That's
is
anything with
smoking.
smoking.
It's the context, right?
Context.
Because you've just been listening to these beautiful people speak a beautiful language in a cottage, and there's mid-century modern furniture around, and everyone's in wool.
I can't imagine smoking a cigarette silently with one of my parents. That
tried?
because I can't stand my father either, my adopted father. But we're the Farx brothers. We have the same parents.
Heard.
But I just can any of you
Smoke?
Wait,
My parents? No.
Wait,
like could you imagine after a big fight with one of your parents as an adult, you and your parent just standing outside smoking silently and showing that it's all okay now? It's not, but it seems like it.
Oh yeah. So truth of the capital T. Truth of the capital T. Lived experience, right? And I hope to get to know each and every one of you much better, to know what your lived experience has been, to know whether or not you will relate to this.
Yeah.
But when you experience deep trauma, if you go through something, those silent cigarette conversations become easy to have. It's just I have had one, and it is there, but they come from somewhere. I don't think they come from,
I think we will have to cover a traumatic experience in your interview that people can now look for when they get to that segment. Don't you love how I do this?
Yeah, that's
See
great.
these things
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, since you don't like your dad right now, you could smoke in silence. I don't know.
I was gonna say maybe that counts.
That counts.
Maybe it's the
yeah.
angry cigarette. It's just really fast. It burns super quick.
Adopted Mama Farx texted this week
yeah?
because of the picture of Jesus was too much. He's not Jesus. He's not Jesus.
I thought I was a doctor. When really they told him tell him the photo was doctored, and he heard that. And I was a doctor.
Yeah, I heard that there.
But that was too far, so that we're making the dad.
Well, at least there is a line somewhere. I don't know
Yeah,
why it wasn't.
It kind of goes.
I don't
like
know why
this.
it wasn't a fucking decade ago, but okay. Whatever.
So yeah, everyone
Better late
gets
than
along
never.
with their parents at different times in different ways.
Yeah, and for different reasons, I think, right?
Do you believe in physical media? Do you own any?
How to
Like-
pivot.
It's a wild pivot. Yeah.
Oh, DVDs. Do I believe in physical
Do you
media?
own any physical media, Abby?
I have books.
You have books?
I have lots of
What's
books.
the last book you bought in this store?
It's called "Don't Let Him In"
Oh, the
by Lisa
vampire one?
Jewell.
Tell me about it.
It's about it's a horrible. I mean, so I liked it. I like to read. It's a mystery book, and it's about man. It's from a bunch of different perspectives. A man goes through his life treating women terribly, taking their money, going after widowers, and then you discover that he's the reason that they all have dead husbands. Boo! Spoiler alert for Lisa Jewell's "Don't Let Him In."
It's not a book you'd recommend, hence why you just spoiled it.
Yeah, so the thing is, I don't particularly love her as an author, but I can consume those books in 2 days. It's just one of those things, just an easy read. So yes, physical media, I have a lot of books.
I didn't like Big Bang Theory, and I'd often consume it all very quickly just to
Why?
The show.
It was the most popular show on television. at
But
one point.
you binge watch a show you hate?
I could consume
Wow.
it very quickly the way
Oh,
she described.
But why
Yeah.
consume it at all, though? I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
get
don't
it.
like it.
No, I get it though.
It's the
I get
most
it.
popular show on television, and my deepest desire would be to make to show it on
I guess I
television.
get it with a movie or a book.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so you also like shows, episodic shows. Okay, cool.
Well, I like linear shows. I appreciate the episodicness of the iterations.
Got it. Ooh, got it.
Like how this is a show, and you're on an episode, but then each segment has its little bits and
Its own
stuff.
little-
Yes, and the creativity that comes from the different ways our guests and Gregorio or whoever we have the given week, brings to it.
Yeah.
I think the one DVD, not to just hard pivot back,
No,
that
that's
is
what
in
this is
my
for.
house is Hereditary.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
Heck of a movie. Okay.
Yeah, because talk about a movie that made me ugly cry so hard that I got mad.
Oh, wow.
Like, and then I did not talk to my husband for like a half hour because he was like, we should watch this movie. And like, he knows me. And we watched it and I was like, I'm never talking to you again. It was with it, whatever, we can't spoil it, but whatever happens within that first 20 minutes, I was like,
oh yeah, so good.
The rage that I felt. Anyway, that movie.
I looked that actor up today and what she looks like today, and it's funny. Not funny, just like
You're talking about Charlie from
Hereditary, because
yeah.
Jenna Ortega tried out for that part Wednesday and she didn't get it, and she got it. And I was like, oh well, I know where Jenna Ortega's at today. Where's and she's a theater actress.
Yeah.
Charlie and I really
Shapiro.
want to watch that with my father, who I'm angry at.
It
would help. I think it would help both of us.
Yeah, you'll feel something. You'll both feel something.
Did you watch Midsummer?
Yes.
Oh, what did you think?
I felt fine.
Oh, really? Even with the opening, like it's not the very first thing, but like the whole, like the hose in the house, like that.
I felt fine.
Oh, really?
With
Okay.
that. Yeah, there was something very
suicide.
specific about the beginning of.
It's because
we call it Harry Terry in my household. Harry Terry. So yeah.
Well, the suicide themes of this, we already talked about the mother, but then what's her name?
Nora.
Nora, thank you. So, don't kill yourself, Nora. The world is better with you in it. She's a fictional character.
Character.
I guess I don't know what, did this movie handle suicide well while you're thinking everyone, or a better way to talk about suicide as it relates to this movie? It's interesting to me that, Gustav, I don't think he knows why his mom committed suicide, and I think he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And his life has been dedicated to figuring that out, but it's not a healthy
As a
thing.
filmmaker, you think?
No, just as a person, and I feel like you can't answer that question, And
Yeah, because you never know.
you'll never know, and it's not worth trying to figure out. Because look at how it ruined his relationship with his daughter, would be my argument.
Well, doesn't his daughter figure it out? Or do you think she doesn't know either?
She's coming at it from somebody who's disconnected from it, because her grandmother died before she was born, and the most significant glaring thing in the Holocaust and Nazi occupation, that must have had an impact. It's like macroeconomic effects we talk about a lot. It's you have to go, the main thing was probably, I don't know, that.
Well, I don't know if it's her, actually, the mom killing herself, where he feels so abandoned that... Right? Is it abandonment, or is it that she killed herself?
Yeah,
it's more abandoned, yeah.
Let's decentralize her suicide and make it more about his
I mean,
abandonment.
Or
It
his
could be,
journey.
yeah.
So here's what I'll say about the way that they handled it.
Sure.
I thought that the stool joke was hilarious.
What was the stool joke?
The IKEA stool?
When Elle Fanning's character is sitting on the stool and he's in there with her, and she's like, "This is where she did it," and he's like, "Yep, she used that stool," and she stands up and freaks out.
Yes.
And then later, he tells his daughter, I told her that she used the stool. So that, I feel like, is an example of them talking about suicide well, of them handling that topic well, because I think you've seen Look Back and Laugh.
I have, and you have suicide in there, and it's
And so Look Back and Laugh is a true story, like a fictionalized version of one of my good friends who took her own life. And the further I am away from that experience, and even I think when I was immediately going through it, the thing that struck me is that there is no one thing, there's no one way to navigate it or feel about it. It is hilarious, it is devastating, it is makes you so mad that you want to chuck something out a window, and then it's relieving, and it's all of these things just wrapped up into one. And so I personally thought it was really cool to see them make that joke at that moment in the film, with the huge caveat, I'm going to say this to the camera, that there's no wrong way to experience or go through that journey. You the way that you feel is the way that you feel about it, and it's valid and respected. It's just, for me, I'm someone that deals with hardship with humor a lot, and so I was like, that like really worked for me in that.
Thank you for reminding me of it. It definitely was something I like. You guys all found that funny, right?
Yeah, I thought so. That was
I told her that was the stool. It wasn't the stool.
Yeah.
Didn't it come from IKEA?
Yeah. They're like, and she was like the IKEA one.
So to draw a parallel, though, okay, so suicide with the mother, suicide with the daughter. He's clearly struggling with alcohol as like he's killing himself in a way.
Yeah.
And like he's in the hospital at the end because he like I don't know what you would have had to drink to go.
alcohol poisoning or something.
Yeah, alcohol poisoning.
Probably one of these.
That's
Yeah,
not,
we can't say it. It's our sponsor.
The sugar would kill him before he would drink.
Before the alcohol.
He was drinking something that could light on fire. That would just like attract ants over time.
That's 13%.
That you wouldn't light on fire. It needs to be over 50%.
Oh, well, I gotta work up to it, but
I knew someone who was a moonshiner. Sorry.
Oh no, but you were saying like there's parallels between like how people are sort of treating themselves throughout the course of the movie, which I think is interesting because I, as someone who's been in therapy for a really long time, if you're familiar with the concept of like a self-destruct button, everyone's got one. Some people's are bigger, some people's are smaller, and everyone is always just sort of going like this at all times. And
Finger over
however
it,
close you get to it is sort of where you're at. So the portrayal of that to me is always very interesting.
I was watching Ilhan Omar on Adam Friedland today, and they brought up therapy.
On what?
What?
On what?
Adam Friedland. Adam Friedland.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I've sent you a bunch of clips. Doesn't matter. And they were he was trying to sell her on the idea of therapy, and she was like, "I'm not here to talk about therapy,"
Which is fair.
which, well, they're both immigrants. He from South Africa. When you look him up, it's true that he is. He was like, "Well, that's such an immigrant thing." Of like, he was making the joke. I am just repeating Adam Friedland's joke to be clear that immigrants are less bought in on therapy. So while I am not disagreeing with you, I couldn't get out of my head hearing that my congressperson and Adam Friedland, talking about this and relating it to the diaspora they feel as immigrants, and so, God bless it sounds. No one's going to therapy in this movie.
Not directly, yeah.
Not that we see.
Yeah.
I bet the younger sister is.
Yeah, maybe.
Or the older, no, Nora's the older one. The younger sister, who I can't remember her name, I bet she is.
Yeah.
That would track for me. A little backstory.
Well, isn't
her.
the art her therapy, like doing the acting and then going on these retreats?
Nora's, but
Nora's
the
the
younger
actor.
sister who's like has the kid.
Oh, she's younger?
Yeah, she's the younger
so
one.
she's the younger one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because that's in the scene in the bedroom. She's like, "What was different about, like, how did you?" Nora goes, "How did you get out of this without being all fucked up?" And she's like, "Well, the difference is I had you," because she was the younger
That's
sister.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. When they hug each other in bed.
Yeah.
And like, see, that's where I'm like, this isn't relevant. This is not a debate topic. Like, I'm touched by that, but I can tell that it's outside of me because, like, I hope my daughters have that kind of closeness. Not a trauma for me, I hope. But I mean, everyone, we are each other's angels and demons. I can't remember who said that. But like, it's not something I relate to. Does that make sense?
Even with your two brothers here.
Yeah, or your
We have
sister.
never held each other and said, I
we
care
hugged.
about you.
Excuse me.
No, it's a great point.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine Nick and I hugging each other.
Wow.
I'm trying to imagine now and us just like bumping into each other.
We would do like the Step Brothers thing at the end with Adam Scott, where they
they're
they go like
punching each other, yeah.
they do.
Yes. There it is. And you have to start somewhere is the thing. You have to start somewhere with the physical connection. But I get that. I do think there is something different about a sister and sister relationship than there is for brothers. That's for sure, for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys want to counter on any of those things or?
On the relationship?
Yeah, I had do we want to argue about Stellan Skarsgård was the lead and you should have been nominated as?
He wasn't nominated?
He wasn't?
No, he was nominated, but in Best Supporting. And I would argue he
'cause
should have been in lead.
Oh, okay.
And he was the front runner for a while, and then he...
Dang, okay.
Yeah, he
Strange.
should have been nominated as lead, is my point.
Yeah, we're not going to argue about that because I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Nora, the gal who played Nora, was nominated as lead, or
She
was
was
not?
She was nominated as lead, and then
Okay.
the younger sister, and Elle Fanning were both nominated as supporting.
And then he was nominated as supporting.
In the men's, yes.
Interesting.
Was there?
No,
was
I
there-
think he was the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed. What did they actually nominate a different actor, male actor, as the lead?
No.
So they just.
They just were like,
It was just like.
It's the Javier Bardem thing.
Oh, okay.
oh yeah, no, that's kind of a bummer because his performance was excellent. I really was drawn in by that. So that's kind of a bummer.
And he's got 2 sons in the industry.
I know, yeah. But it's like, I guess to the extent that you care, that a person would care about nominations like that. But I assume that it matters.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
he'll get a bump on his, his next couple of movies
Yeah.
from that. Good for him.
Yeah.
We already talked about infidelity.
Sorry, I feel like I'm not good at arguing because I'm just
No.
like, yes,
No,
tell
it's-
me more about why you feel like that.
You're good.
I had a fucked up thought that I was going
You
to
wrote
bring up
down?
because,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, no, like, I can't
Go
find
ahead.
it in my notes, but basically, like, are the Nazis worse than, like, people who are flattening buildings today? Because, like, the Nazis, like, slowly look at them and we see, like, pictures of torture and stuff like that in the movie. And it's like, which is worse? Pressing a button and, ooh, I flattened a building. There were women and children there. Or I'm going to slowly torture this person over time. Like, that's something the movie made me think about while I was watching it because, I don't know, the world.
Yeah.
And, like, I think, to be clear, both things are bad. I would like to minimize them.
Yeah.
But, like, which is worse over time? Like, because some of these people, who are just in Florida pushing buttons and blowing things up around the world, they do report, feelings of, but it's disconnected. Whereas, like, Nazis, I rewatched Schindler's List for, because of the current times, and it was like, this
Yeah.
fucked up to watch them, like, sipping their alcohol and then going and, like, shooting people in the street. I'm like, how could you go back to, living your day after you did something like that?
Do you mean worse for the person perpetrating the violence?
I think so.
Yeah,
because
because it sounded like that's what you're asking. That's an
because
interesting
the other person's
question.
dead,
Yeah.
in these circumstances,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So worse in
Which
the
is the
long
worst form of
term
genocide? The up close one or the one where you just,
for the person
doing it
perpetrating it.
for the bad person, for the person doing the bad thing?
Ugh. So I'm not going to not answer your question, but I had a really similar conversation with somebody related to, I may not answer your question. Okay, similar conversation with someone related to the ICE agents who participated in Metro Surge.
Yeah, like
All
what do we
of
do with
these
them after this?
well, it's like all these young folks that were sort of brought in under the guise of like money or like, what power or whatever it was that our military industrial complex uses to basically just,
57 cents of every federal tax dollar
Yeah.
you pay goes to the...
yeah, just like whatever it is that they're doing to sort of entice people into these roles. And I am like, at some point down the line in the next, like, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 years, we're going to have another reckoning of these people who have realized the harm that they've done. And what are we going to do? Like, it's not to elevate their experience beyond the experience of the people who actually experience the harm,
The
right?
victims versus
But
the
it
attackers.
is like,
yeah.
it's just like it will be a enormous clusterfuck. And so the answer to your question, we may actually be able to look at real history to figure out what it is. Because like, yeah, what were, I mean, besides just like, knowing the trials and all the things, like what were the effects of the people who were part of the Nazi party who like did those things, like how did their lives turn out, and
They
then,
drank a lot. That's
and
one
then
of the things
so
we know.
when did we start doing proxy wars? Like when did we start doing like
Vietnam,
like
Korea.
So, and I know how my grandpa experienced that and like turned out like, when you're proxy war is probably not the right term. When did we start doing wars? When people could push a button and have the thing like do
World War II, yeah.
Yeah. So like we do see how that plays out in like what happens in this country in like homes, in businesses, in under capitalism. So like I think we have the answers, and the answer is it's all bad. It's just maybe not worse.
I'll
maybe
relate
there's
it to
different ways.
I'll relate it to the movie in a way I don't know if you'll agree with.
Okay.
So like obviously we're saying people who were victimized during Operation Metro Surge bullshit thing, they're victims, and the perpetrators are, you know, people. They're still people. They're guilt. They need to be assessed for what they did. Mm-hmm. Those things aside, it's kind of like a parent-child. Like whatever the parent does to the child wrong is the parent's fault. It's not the child's fault. And we see that here because like Gustav and how he's treated Nora, you know, creating a chaos in their home as when she was little, and now she's having this reaction as an adult. But we still care about Gustav. Mm-hmm. And we like know, like, hey, what was the fucked up shit that happened to Gustav? Because his mother killed herself, and she experienced, you know, the Holocaust. And, you know, to relate it back to your Metro Surge thing, I wonder how many of these younger folks, you know, I was in high school during COVID, and then I didn't get to have that experience and the, you know, passing of my, you know, I didn't get to have a prom, I didn't get to have a graduation, and so now I've just been floating in life like a ghost since I found something with meaning. Hey, here, go, you know, beat some people up. A guy with a stick at least has a mission. They can.
I think there's a difference between signing up for it. I could see that for like signing up for it, and like yeah, I'm just gonna go whatever. But that's different than the ones who actually are like the ones like shooting people in the face.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know, like I don't care. Like, you didn't get a high school experience because of COVID. Oh, boo fucking who? Fuck you.
Sure, but
like,
I would put this in
those
the. Do you agree with the concept of this relating to Gustav? Gustav as a parent, like there is no justification for what, you know, he does wrong to his child, but it's still helpful to understand why it happened.
It's helpful.
I like understanding things, but that doesn't always mean that once I understand it, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And to Abby's point, we're going to have to deal with this at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like,
I hope with a lot of people hanging.
As a Christian,
being
it
executed.
is immoral for me to wish for other people's death. I do wish for adjudication. I don't think it would happen correctly now, you know, given obvious things. But, you know, that's like, look how the Holocaust fucked up this family, and I don't even think they're Jewish, right?
Yeah, that's
think so.
interesting because she was part of, like, the grandma was part of the resistance. I think that they didn't. I think they said
The Norwegian resistance.
Yeah,
And we're here in, you know, Minnesota, land of the Norwegians. Come on, Norway. Let's see those numbers go.
Yeah, wow, all right.
Didn't you like our scintillating conversation? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's very, it is interesting. Like, I see the two as very different. I know you're relating it back to the movie. The two I see as different because I actually do think that there is room. So when we're talking about a parent-child relationship, not a military fucking occupying force, they can go fuck themselves, truly. But I think when we're talking about like a parent-child, I do think that there is room to justify is not the word that I would use, but I do think that like when I think about, I don't know. Like when you think about growing up and the wrongs your parents did, do you think that there's not room there is room for me, I should say, to understand beyond just being like, I get why that happened. I can also look at them and be like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, a lot more empathy.
Like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'll relate it to the movie in a way that you see if you can see if you agree with. I'm interested to see if you guys agree with this. The reason the younger sister isn't screwed up is, yes, she had the older sister, but also she went off, formed a relationship, has a family, and it's probably easier for her to forgive her father because she knows everyone just starts as a baby, and you just take this little baby and you fuck them, the world fucks them up. And then we're all just doing the best with these, you know, fucked up situations. So, and like, she's got a pretty good situation. Her kid seems very healthy. Her husband seems very well adjusted. And then like, she doesn't have all this baggage with her dad. Yeah. You know? So, relating it to your thing in terms of restate your idea, and then I'll try to...
Well, it's more so like, I do think that there is room to see, because I think you said there's never, or maybe not never, but you're like there's never a justification for what a parent does to a child.
The child is never at fault for what the parent does.
Okay. So then I think I misheard you because
That's
I
all
think
I was
you're
trying to
right.
relate it to with the other thing.
I think because I think
military
you're right.
occupation.
Yeah, no one, the child is not at fault.
There's
but
also, the idea I've heard a lot is that people are able to forgive their parents more when they've had children.
That's it. So I would. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to equate military orders and Nazis. That's a hard thing.
I know. I think we have to toss it because we can't equate them.
Parents, I think they're trying their best, and the child can understand that eventually, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
A parent and a child has to both be willing to do the work. I think they are in the movie. He's trying, and now she's forgiven him enough to try and be in his movie. So, yeah.
Do we want to debate Rachel's decision to leave the movie at all?
No, I think she thought she wasn't the right person for it, so it happened to most people,
and
actors.
That was part of her character I really liked, was that, they kind of tried to paint her as this like Disney-fied, that's where she came from. And you wouldn't think she's kind of subverting that expectation that that kind of character would just go for it no matter what, because she knew it was going to get her whatever. But, she did realize she was the wrong person for the role, and she gave it up, which I thought was kind of cool.
What I don't like about it narratively is that it makes Gustav then, he didn't do anything to learn. Things happened to him.
Yeah, I think that's really fair. Yeah. He didn't make a decision to then reconnect with his daughter. It sort of occurred. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that's part of it too. That it's so imperfect that he didn't even actually do anything to heal the relationship with his kid. It adds to sort of the layers of that ending of the good stuff being sort of more cloudy than it even is before. Does that make sense?
He drinks himself into oblivion after that.
Yeah.
But you don't consider him selling the house being part of that growth or
Well, selling the house is the narrative thing that Nora needed, because she's into doing the movie when he first proposes it, but then when he says he wants it to be at the house, she's like, no, I can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
So then him selling the house, which I guess is the representation of their generational trauma.
Yeah, they're both letting that go.
And they're letting it go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks for helping us get this movie. Abby. Do you want to say anything to tease your interviews? Does anyone have any other things that I...
This is the moment where I tease the interview that will happen later. You should stick around for it.
Yeah, definitely.
That works.
She's got an exciting story. Oh, wait, there's exciting incident.
Where I share too much about my personal life. No, just enough about my personal life.
That's enough.
Great.
See you guys there. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.